Hello and welcome. You're with IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live interactive web television. This is your very own platform where all of you can engage with us online. You can join us even while we are having our conversations and our shows. If you have any comment to make, if you have any input to give on the various topics that we talk about, you can of course leave your posts, your audio and video messages, and you can keep tweeting us at hashtag IndiaPostLive and at the rate IndiaPostLive, and we would love to have your tweets and respond to them whenever we can. So India Post Live is your platform where you can engage, and I'm saying this very strongly today because today and tomorrow in fact is the day India enters the 68th year of its independence, and we are celebrating freedom this evening on India Post Live. Of course, all of you will be celebrating Independence Day tomorrow. We have already begun our celebrations. This is the day when all Indians come together and contemplate about freedom. Or do we? In fact, that is the question we are asking. Are we taking our freedom for granted? Do we understand the value of being free? We are going to talk about all of that. I have some wonderful guests with me on this show. But before that, let me tell you that we went out on the streets, as we do, to talk to people about what freedom means to them. And this is what we heard.
आज़ादी मिलने से कोई फ़ायदा हुआ?
मुझे कोई नहीं फ़ायदा मिला।
मुझे आज़ादी कोई फ़ायदा नहीं हुआ।
आज़ादी होने से
जैसा चल रहा है वो चल ही रहा है। बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है।
क्या फ़ायदा हुआ?
फ़ायदा यही हुआ है जो माहौल जो है जो चल रहा है वो सब बहुत शांत है।
हमारे माँ बहन कहीं सुरक्षित है नहीं। अच्छा, बस मेन बात यही है।
जो कैद में थे अंग्रेज़ों की हम, तो आज़ादी मिलकर तो हमें फ़ायदा हुआ है कि हमारे पास फ्रीडम है, फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन, फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच। हम लोग अपने हक के लिए लड़ सकते हैं, हमारे पास कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल राइट्स हैं।
हम लोग तो ऐसे देखेंगे तो हम लोग स्वतंत्र हो चुके हैं, लेकिन जो आम आदमी का जो अधिकार होता है उस तरह का, जैसे जो BPL में आते हैं, चाहे जो गरीबी रेखा के नीचे, उसको उस तरह का बेनिफिट नहीं मिल पाया अभी तक।
So most people are skeptical, and many of them, are probably too worried and too apprehensive about the existing social problems that are going on to really worry or contemplate too much about actually being free. Well, let us get a slightly different kind of an insight. I'm very, very honored to say that I have with me in the studio Mrs. Mamta Mehta. Mamta Mehta, welcome to India Post Live. Thank you so much for coming all the way to our studio. Mamta Mehta is, in fact, she was a lieutenant in the Rani of Jhansi regiment of the INA, which was formed by Subhash Chandra Bose, and she was a lieutenant. She has fought for our freedom. She is 88 years old. Who better than her to really understand the value of freedom and what it means to be free as a nation? Thank you so much for coming once again. And tell us your story. Very briefly, unfortunately, because your story is something that should be written into a book.
It is about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Okay. How old were you when you joined the Rani of Jhansi
16
regiment?
years, just finished 16 in December.
Okay.
And 17 December, 16. And Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he was in Southeast Asia. Those days he was in Japan. I don't want to talk a lot. But from when he entered Southeast Asia, he never had any money. He asked money from the public that you'll have to give money, I want to fight for the country. And people gave money, not money, gold. He millions and millions of worth of golds, even billions. It came up to from Burma, North Burma and whole of Southeast Asia. Wherever he went, people gave money. Nobody can get this kind of money, even today. No one.
So the people were with him.
Everybody was with him. But funniest part, in India, nobody recognized in Indian leaders. They are jealous of him. There are many of them are so very jealous. Today his name is not there. No, it is so difficult to find out what happened. And we know that he was a very great man. Great man. And
How did you train yourself? Who trained you to?
you train army officers. Indian army officer under the British also, those who joined Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, they only taught us. They are very big, strict masters. They said, don't waste the bullets. Bullets, you see that one bullet when you learn, it is not wasted. So when we are shooting, when first one shooting, bullet should go right inside. Do you know? Everybody put the bullet there, even myself. Nothing so wonderful about it. Everybody could do it. And the teachers who were teaching, their eyes were very big. They were also feeling that when they are young, when they were fighting, learning how to shoot bullet, it went here and there. But these girls, young girls, 17, 18, 19 up to 23, 33, they one bullet to save, the way they shot, they were surprised. There's nothing so wonderful
Are
about it.
you saying women make better soldiers?
Of course, because Subhash Chandra Bose told those men, those days, not a single girl in the world, they joined the army. Nowhere in the world.
Right.
16 years old girls will not join. And he said, no, everybody can join, because they can do better. They can be, that's what Subhash Bose said. And what must I say today? It is a fact.
Right.
Today we fought and in the border, and now Rani of Jhansi regiment, girls, you do know.
How many of you were there? How many of you were there in the regiment?
Thousands of them, I cannot remember how many, but one thing in rubber plantation in the south, near those.
Kerala?
No, south means Southeastern Asia.
Southeast Asia, okay. Malaysia?
Malaysia, that's even much farther. They said, Netaji, we want to join. These ladies, some without blouses also, south, and they are not educated. They were after him. Netaji didn't know what to do. He told Lakshmi, take these girls only for rifle, nothing else. And do you know, these girls came with the rifle, they came to Burma. My. One rifle shot will go to the correct place.
Oh.
One rifle
How many
shot.
people have you killed?
We didn't kill.
You didn't kill?
No, we were, Netaji said, see that the girls are not killed. Two girls we lost.
Okay.
But
how many did you kill? Because you were fighting.
No,
You
never. Netaji said, don't die in Burma. Die in the crossing the border for the country.
Okay.
But the girls should not die now. The boys should look after him. They are also going, and they also can fight. It is necessary, they will fight. But otherwise, see that they don't die. But we fought. 2 girls died along with us. So the funniest part is this. Today in India, nobody knows about Netaji the way they should know. Today now they're talking about giving us, going to recognize in some mother. We don't believe them. Don't believe anybody.
Yeah, there are talks, Bharat Ratna.
Bharat Ratna is, now some ministers are getting Bharat Ratna. For a prime minister you can get a Bharat Ratna. But those who have fought for the country, they are much older than us, much older than us, they don't get Bharat Ratna. They deserve it. They don't get it. They don't get it.
Let me also tell all my viewers that Momita Mehta, I mean, I'm saying Momita, purposely because she's a Bengali, she's of Bengali descent, and she has married a Mehta, she's married a Gujarati, and how she got married and who married her off is a very interesting story. We have to listen to that. Please tell us about your marriage.
Gandhi in Dr. Mehta's house, Dr. Pranjivan Jagjivan Mehta. He was one of the richest diamond merchant in Asia. We had 3 ships, and he used to sell this whatever coal, koila. All these things he used to sell. But he used to go to, Southeast, in Africa to buy these gems. So he came to know Gandhiji that time also. He was a very learned man. He was Dr. Mehta is a doctor, physician and
Businessman.
जो लड़ाई जो ऑपरेशन करते हैं उसको क्या बोलते
Surgeon.
सर्जन
Okay.
citizen and surgeon. I'm 88 years old. I forget many
That's all
things.
right. That's all
Surgeon,
right.
and then he was also a highly educated man. He went one day. He was sitting in London in a house, in a hotel, what do you call it, place club.
Club. Huh.
One young man came. He saw one cap, fur cap. He found a beautiful fur cap. Dr. Mehta saw it. He came. Is it your fur cap? He says, no, I'm sorry, I should not. No, you can, but you're doing it in the wrong way. You should do this way, not
Okay,
this way.
okay.
Then he said, where did you come from? He said, today I come to England because I want to look for a house. Looking for a house. I have a house, you can stay there as long as you don't find one. I am Dr. P.J. Mehta. And he told, so he says, you are a doctor? He said, yes. Then what are you doing here? Because I'm going to join. Then Gandhiji told him, I'm joining Bharat Law. Dr. Mehta said, I'm also joining Bharat Law.
Oh.
Well, both of us will go.
Okay.
And Gandhiji said, I cannot take you to my house because that is yours. I cannot take any help from you. Dr. Mehta said, what does it matter? You go afterwards. Now you can go. My house is a very big one in England.
Is this your father-in-law we are talking about or your husband?
Husband's grandfather.
Your husband's grandfather. Okay.
So how Gandhiji
So
is
that's
a
how
young
that's
man.
how he met him. Okay.
Young man.
As a young man.
And then Dr. Mehta is always on top and
Right.
Bharat Law, doctor, anything. He is always stands on top. Gandhiji was very much happy with him. That's how they became best friends all that throughout their life. And Gandhiji, what he did, he also very clever man, but he learned many things from him. Gandhiji loved him that much. Then that's why when he came to India, we know about Gandhiji. It is not me that he gave me in marriage. All the family, Dr. Mehta's family, they got
Gandhiji has married. So you heard that?
And Sabarmati Ashram.
At Sabarmati Ashram. Mamta Mehta got married off to...
No, Gandhiji, but not in Sabarmati Ashram.
Gandhiji married you off, right? Gandhiji arranged your marriage,
Yes,
isn't
but,
it?
you know,
That-
Sabarmati
I think
Ashram
that's a
was
beautiful
given-
story. Yeah.
Beautiful, given by Dr. Mehta.
Okay.
Sabarmati Ashram is Sabarmati house in
Your husband's family.
husband's family.
Right.
My husband's family, that's his grandfather, my husband's father, my husband's grandfather. There the house is given, Dr. Mehta's house. Gandhiji only said that my children will come there once a year, 4 or 5 days. You can take this house completely. That's how Gandhiji got that Sabarmati Ashram. But even today, my children are 2 children I have there with me. We are from Burma. We have a lot of houses are there, but they are all given away. Nothing is there. All are gone. But now, about Netaji, I want to talk.
Yeah.
Netaji-
But of course we will. But I just want to ask you one thing. You have fought for the country. You got married in the year 1947, right? Just before we won our independence, and you have
45. 46, 45.
Okay. You got married before the independence, and you have been seeing for more than almost 7 decades now. We are a free country. What do you think? Do we as Indians, especially those born after we gained freedom, do we understand the value of freedom?
No. Very few. No. Because the people, those who got after independence, the big leaders, few of them were very good. The rest of them are not. They always wanted to, they are also very interested to make money. That's the only thing that, even today, everybody wants to make money. Everybody has got millions of money. How? You don't know how. Everybody has got. How? Ask them.
All right, let me now bring in an online guest who has been listening to Mamata Verma for quite a while. Hi, Akram. Mehta, sorry, Mehta. Okay, hi Akram. Akram joins us from Hyderabad. Am I right?
Yes.
Hi. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to IndiaPostLive.com. As you can see, we have Mamta Mehta with us, a freedom fighter and a former lieutenant of the Rani of Jhansi regiment. So,
I was engrossed in listening to the whole story.
I know, it is an engrossing story. Yes, absolutely. Do you have anything? Do you have anything you want to ask her?
Oh yes, I think most probably from the lines of last lines, that how is independence today taken for granted, when especially in people's movements that we see.
Yeah.
I'm a traveler. I've been traveling across the country, traveling to different movements. But wherever I travel, there is a strong anti-people's movement used by the agency, state agency. Now it is the same people's movement which fought the independence for the country.
Right.
How does ma'am look into this?
Okay, what he's saying is Akram is a traveler. He travels all over the country, and his learnings, his observation is that state agencies are against people's movements, mass movements. You have been involved in a movement. You've been involved in the freedom movement, but the state agencies, the government, he's saying that they are anti-people's movements. What are your thoughts on that?
They are all selfish people. Most of them are selfish. I mean, not 100%, I mean, less than 100% are selfish people. All selfish people. That's why the country is in such a mess. We are in trouble. Why? I'm a freedom fighter. I keep quiet because there's no use. If I tell anybody, who wants to know about Subhash Bose? Who wants to know about other big leaders? Once upon a time we had nobody in school, college, nobody talks about them at all. And Southeast Asia, where I was born and brought up and in India, and from most of the South Asian girls are in Rani of Jhansi regiment, most of them.
Right.
And they were not only wonderful, they don't speak Hindi, but they speak. Some of them don't speak Hindi. They speak their own language, but they have got so much good points. They were
united. I think the most important thing.
They loved each other.
Yeah.
Whether you're Muslim or Hindi doesn't matter. We are Indian. They never even talk about it. They loved each other.
Right.
We used to, during the war, we have one plate. There is Muslim, there is Christian. Doesn't matter. Today they are talking about Muslim, Christian. We never spoke like this.
Right.
Because this is a religion, wonderful thing. This is their own personal thing.
Right.
But as a Indian, we are all one.
Right.
And you used to eat food from the same plate. And one is a vegetarian. We used to tell that take my portion, and we never felt anything, never touched.
All right. We also went across to people to find out, in fact, the point that Mamta Mehta herself has raised, do we value our freedom, and also do we love our country as much as, she's already shaking her head no, but do we at all love our country? And Akram, of course, I will talk, okay, first let's hear you first. Because
we'll go, after the audience, we'll go around with the question, because it might relate to the same question, that's what I think.
Right, okay. So we did go across and talk to people, asking them whether we are less patriotic today than we were a few decades back. And this is what people had to say. Take a look.
It's just a different way we express our patriotism than the previous generations did. But frankly speaking, I think it's the same, if not a higher level of patriotism. You can't say it's a lower level of patriotism.
Younger generations has the voice to raise wherever they find anything is going wrong.
50 years back, people were patriotic. After that, the corruption took over the people.
You can ask the other people also.
It's like getting everything very easily, so they don't actually know what is the meaning of freedom.
आज के लोगों में तो बस अपने घर बार से ही कोई फुर्सत नहीं है. पहले लोग जान देते थे.
I really don't appreciate people who put WhatsApp DPs as the Indian flag. I don't think that shows their patriotism at any cost. You always keep on condemning the country, but you are not doing anything to save that country.
The young generation is all about Facebooking and all.
People of this generation, they understand things much better than what people 50 years back did.
Let me decide what I have to speak.
People don't want to do anything for the country. They are just they should be self-satisfied. Nobody cares about others.
समाज में वो इतने उलझे पड़े हैं जो उनके वो इस चीज़ का देशभक्त का उनका अब ध्यान ही नहीं है कि देशभक्त क्या है.
People, they go to India Gate and they take part in protests and everything. So everybody is doing their bit.
There are people who stands up
for the country and feel bad. People don't even stand on national anthem. I have to ask them या कोई भी हो आसपास तो उन्हें अगर बोलो ना कि खड़े हो जाओ प्लीज तुम खड़े हो ना खड़े रहो.
So people are no longer patriotic is what people are saying. They are too busy with their own lives, their own families, their own problems. People don't even stand up for the national anthem anymore. Isn't that sad? Well, before I talk to Akram, I would like to introduce our next studio guest, and that is Charles Thompson. Charles, welcome to India Post Live.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Charles is in fact of Australian origin, right?
Yes.
But you have lived in India for many years.
At this time, 3 years, yes.
This time 3 years. And
Yes.
totally how many years?
It'd be 14 years.
14 years
Yes.
in India.
I grew up in Bihar. I came almost by myself when I was 13. I stayed 11 years in Bihar.
Huh.
Then I went back to Australia, and after 30 years, I'm back here again.
Oh wow, that's such a fascinating story, Akram. Another person who we have two people here who love India, so maybe that will make you feel slightly better. Akram is someone who is an avid traveler. He's traveled all over the country. He travels every year, don't you, Akram? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your travels.
So I basically I'm an artist. I'm a theatre artist who travels around the country, who does social experiments. So I travel cashless, I travel on a bicycle, or I just hitchhike, walk on the roads, take
How do
lifts.
you eat? What do you eat?
What do I eat? Whatever people offer.
Wow.
So I do carry a little bit for cooking myself around. But
Okay.
sometimes you have to bring around to people around.
Wow.
Getting too much. So it's just an experiment of what I wanted to see and explore around the country.
Right.
And over a period of time, and that's where my next question was leading to me. I didn't, there isn't suddenly a lack of patriotic approach, but there is an overrise of nationalistic approach, which is seen in the political groups around,
Right.
and very strong nationalistic approach, which is being sent through color of the flag, which is sadly the freedom which I as in minority group sometimes, minority groups means that the things that I do, which is different. Okay, is not tolerated. Is sometimes is taken for so much granted that this is wrong, this is unbiased, and even the law setup does not agree to it. So it suddenly feels that we are way too far away, both from the freedom provided and both from the freedom that is understood.
Right. Right, absolutely. In fact, Akram, I must tell you that on India Post Live, we have put up a video. We have told the story of another freedom fighter who is unknown and unsung. He was a part of the freedom struggle. His name is Maulana Ahmad Saeed, and he is from Daryaganj, Old Delhi. And Pandit Nehru came for his, after he passed away, and they were regularly in touch, letters, meetings and all of that. And he refused, of course, all government help as a freedom fighter. But today his grandsons are saying that we are Muslims and we are being asked to have to prove our patriotism. Please take a look at that video when you have time, and please comment on that. It is something that we have put up on India Post Live. It is exactly what you are talking about. And I'm sure all of us will agree that that seems to be. Charles, what are your thoughts on that? The whole nationalistic patriotism among people, is it there? Is it going? Is it no longer? Have we already taken our freedom for granted?
Just before I go there, I would just like to say on such an auspicious time, independence celebrations, I'm rather a little bit in awe that I'm actually with a freedom fighter.
Absolutely.
And she's extremely humble. I actually managed to talk to her before this interview.
Yeah.
And she was trying to hide it, but I did get a little bit of a confession from her that she did do a little bit of active fighting on the border of Burma and Manipur. And then to find out that she was married by Gandhi herself, by himself. I mean, I was just blown for words that just on such an auspicious occasion, independence, freedom at midnight, we've all seen it.
Yes.
Now, coming back to the question, my eyes are a little bit different because one, I speak Hindi, two, I grew up in Bihar, three, I try to see the best of people in India. Four, I try, and quite often when I meet a lot of young people, they're asking me, what are you doing here? You're from Australia. मैं आपके जगह में तो मैं वहाँ रहता है ना. So I try to ask them questions about India, and I must say over time many of them, हाँ ठीक है मैं गया, हरिद्वार गया, गोमूत गया ना, लद्दाख गया ना, Kashmir गया, and then they start to get a different perspective. So you know, as an outsider coming in, for me it's been quite a different experience. Quite different. I understand what the gentleman's explaining and where he's coming from. But for me, and you know, जब भी हिंदी बोलते हैं सबका चेहरा खुश हो जाता है, सब मेरे साथ लोग hugging करता है ना, जो भी है, और ये जितने भी state apparatus है, मैं आपको एक छोटा सा चीज़ बताता है. Metro stations दिल्ली में, आपको खुद मालूम है कि सब मेट्रो स्टेशन में चेकिंग होता है. तो मैं एक छोटा सा चीज़ करता है, जब भी जाता है ना, और वो जब मैं मेरा चेकिंग करता है, बोलते हैं नमस्ते जी, कैसे आप, सब ठीक है ना. अगली बार जब मैं आएंगे, सबको हमको याद नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन उसके चेहरे में जब खुशी देखा, हमको मालूम है कि पिछली बार हम आया है. So this is my way of communicating, and I think sometimes as individual beings on this planet, if we are a little bit more positive in our interactions, even with grumpy people, even I've been in situations at airports and whatever where it's been very tense, you know, and to smile and be positive. And to understand the stress, because one of the things, there are so many people in India.
Yes,
everybody's so busy.
Everybody's
when
so
you're
busy.
checking into something or getting out of something, there is so many people pushing and shoving, you know, and even in the metros, you know, I get pushed and shoved. So rather than getting upset, I just smile and say, "Arey Videshi ko kyun dhakka de raha hai?" And I get a smile.
We all have our own experiences, of course, and you love our country. And what is that one factor that makes you love India so much?
That's a hard. I'll try and say that in a few words.
Yeah.
It's like taking Europe and putting it into one country and preserving everything that's come. India is a fascinating country. You speak so many different languages, so many different cultures. There are so many different religions. It is just a feast of activity. If you open your eyes and you travel, and I've traveled, there's still lots.
So has Akram.
Oh yes,
Akram is also a
and I
traveler.
love walking. And you know, even in this little company that I work with, everybody has said we'll never walk with that guy because his idea of a short distance is a very long distance. You know, and I love meeting even the people at the very bottom. And sometimes I get so humbled because I'm staying in Gurgaon, Haryana at the moment, and even the little security guards, when I'm walking past, they offer me tea. And you know, how many cups of tea can I drink?
All right. It's wonderful to know, it's fascinating to know that you, despite all our problems, despite all the negative, he loves our country.
He loves people, you know.
He loves
of
people.
India.
Absolutely.
He
I think
loves
that's a great thing.
Peoples
That's
of India, he
such a
loves.
wonderful thing to have
all of
on the evening, a few hours before we enter the 68th year of independence. But there are also some stories which I'm sure touch your heart in ways that you cannot imagine. We are going to tell you the story of a little, a young boy, a teenager who sells the Indian flags, and why he does it and what he understands of it is what we're about to show you now. Take a look.
हमारे भारत का एक त्यौहार बनाया जाता है, मतलब माँ के तरफ से कुछ होता है जिसको हम सलाम करते हैं. देश आज़ादी का दिन होता है, इसलिए खुशी बनाते लोग. 15 अगस्त के दिन झंडा लहराते हैं, उनके सामने सलामी देते हैं. 15 अगस्त आता है तो हमारा काम धंधा भी हो जाता है, हमारा पेट पानी भी चल जाता है. देश का झंडा जो हम बेचते हैं अपने पेट के लिए बेचते हैं.
देश का झंडा बेचते हैं, अपने पेट के लिए बेचते हैं. I think a very telling story, Akram.
It's something which is also an irony of our country.
It is an irony. It is definitely an irony. I mean, you know, these people, this kid, he probably doesn't even know why he's selling the Indian flag. around this time of the year, but it gives him a slightly better meal perhaps.
Better means to earn some money.
Yes.
He doesn't get food, so
Yeah.
he can sell it and get it.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. That's the irony. That's the irony.
That's the irony.
But definitely, at least he is doing something. He's struggling to make a living for himself, and India Post Live, of course, salutes that. So I do agree with you, Charles. Despite what Akram and Mamta ji might have, I'm sure there is a lot of disillusionment about where we have gone, what you had envisaged about our country, and where we have gone and where we are going. But I'm very proud of what we have. And yeah, if you...
No, we are all proud what we have. There is no doubt about it.
Right.
But very, very few people who is interested in what we want to say. They are not. Even wherever we stay, who cares whether you are a freedom fighter? It's not so important about myself. What is the meaning of freedom fighter?
What is the meaning of freedom? That is getting lost. That is getting. Akram, you have been traveling. Have you been documenting? Have you been chronicling what you find, what you see?
I scribble around in my diary. And might be sometimes around Facebook. I just generally scribble down the Facebook.
Okay.
And what is freedom is a very interesting question. That I've been traveling in Kashmir for a long period of time, and I've been also on the borders of India, Pakistan, trying to sneak in, sneak out without visas, try and understand what is freedom, which land I belong. So this is where I generally face a lot of struggle with the agencies around.
All right.
But I think that is something that we all should ask ourselves. Sometimes yes, it's wonderful to love our own land, but can we see how big our land can be? How little? Sometimes I keep on writing myself and saying that the world is my home. Why am I celebrating in my home?
Right. Absolutely.
So it's something that we got to look beyond, and I constantly keep on telling and keep on acting on the same thing around.
Right.
What experiments are
Right.
I try to do.
In fact, Akram, I'm very happy you brought up the India-Pakistan factor, because in fact, a group of students from Delhi University, they, let me just give you this information as well. You will find this interesting. They set out on a peace march. They set off on a peace march from Delhi on the 1st of August. There you can see these pictures. There are some of the pictures, about 50 of them. They flagged off a cycle peace march, and there you can see them stopping for refreshments. They have several activities that they have done to spread the message of peace between India and Pakistan. In fact, the cycle rally was flagged off by journalist Kuldeep Nair, and the objective behind the rally is to promote peace in the South Asian region. And in fact, they have tied up with student activists in Pakistan, their contemporaries in Pakistan. So they conducted various peace campaigns, as you can see. They stopped in Punjab and Haryana, and they have been sending us these pictures,
Wow.
We have been trying to showcase them, and we've been trying to support them in this wonderful endeavor by the youth. And various activities that you can see. This is a street play that happened, and these are the various activities that they're just trying to build an atmosphere of trust and mutual, respect and love. Of course, love is the main thing. Absolutely. So the community believes that a lot of money is spent on unnecessary things. So, and they're also trying to sensitize people through their activities, their street plays, their flash mobs. So you see, they're trying to sensitize people, and they are going to be meeting their contemporaries coming in from Pakistan today. And I can assure you that when they come back to Delhi, we will definitely have them sitting right where you're sitting in our studios and talk about that experience, Akram. So you see, there are various initiatives that people are taking to, to do their bit for the country and to do
their interest.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it is time for us to we're heading towards wrapping up the conversation, but it was great having the three of you. Before we wrap up though, I would like to play out some video messages that were sent to us by various people on the occasion of India's Independence Day. Please take a look.
Independence to me means the freedom of choice, the freedom to choose how you live, or where you want to study, or who you want to marry.
To me, Independence Day means a day to honor all the sacrifices that our freedom fighters have made to get our independence, and also to remind ourselves that the best way to honor that is to perform our duties continuously as citizens of this wonderful nation. Jai Hind.
Independence Day is traditionally associated with pride, but that's not what I feel today. I don't feel pride. I do experience determination. I don't feel pride because we rank 134th on ease of doing business, 140th on press freedom, 144th on peace, 147th on education, 148th on prosperity, and 150th on life expectancy. And I think if a student felt proud of coming 150th out of, say, 180 to 200 students, it wouldn't indicate achievement. It would indicate a lack of ambition. It's not a time for pride. It's a time for determination. I think we spend too much time talking about how proud we are of our culture. And for me, that's the booby prize that people award themselves when they don't produce results. Our culture is the sum total of the beliefs of our society, and the results we're producing are manifestations of our cultural values. It's not a time for pride, it's a time for determination. It's a time for honesty, humility, curiosity, reflection, and learning. It's a time to loosen the chains from the dogma of those aspects of our cultural values that are holding us back so that we can create a better future for our countrymen. It's time to break free. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day to all Indians. Wish to see a happy, safe, secure, clean, prosperous and corruption-free India in our lifetime. Again, happy Independence Day to all Indians all over the world. Thank you.
This independence, I'm planning to do something different, and that is going to be helping one poor animal, I guess. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do this independence. I'm just going to adopt one of the stray dogs. There are like tons of NGOs around, who just provide them food and facility and good hygiene and care. The only thing is that you have to donate a little amount of money to them, and they are going to take a good care of it. So that is what I'm going to do this independence. Yeah, adopt a dog. You should also do it. Yeah, cheers.
Adopt a dog is what Bhaskar has told us to do. All of us should adopt a dog this Independence Day. Of course, we've had people saying that it is a time not to feel just pride, but to be determined to, get rid of those ghastly numbers and the ghastly rankings where India stands in many fields. But of course, as the first girl told us, freedom means the ability to be able to choose how you want to live your life, choose who you want to marry, and I think for Indian women that's really very important. Very important. All right, thank you so much. Akram, it was great having you on the conversation, great having you on the show. Keep up the good work, but I would like to tell you on behalf of India Post Live, please come out with a documentation of everything that you've seen. We would love to know more about it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and glad to meet you. Glad to meet you from Mamta Mehta as well.
Thank you, ma'am. It was wonderful listening to your story. Hopefully, I'm not as lucky as the gentleman around to have a real presence of you. But someday I'll come down traveling to Bengal and I'll catch up.
Please, that will be our pleasure too. We would all like to connect face to face. Thank you so much. I would like to thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much coming all the way to talk to us about freedom, about what it is to be free, and what you did, the sacrifices you made to earn that freedom. Thank you so much. It was great having you.
Thank you for telling me all this.
Thank you so much. Charles, of course, it's a pleasure having you. An Australian who loves India. We need more people like that. We need more Indians who love India too. All right.
Oh, I think there's plenty of them.
I'm sure there are. All right. Thank you so much. The conversation continues on IndiaPostLive.com through your posts, your tweets, your audio and video messages. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.